Well, good morning and welcome back. A little bit over a week has gone by, and I'm back to keep going with the demolition and the cleanup. Summer is now properly here. It's very, very warm. I'm out on the terrace. As you can see, everything is still as it was. So a big cleanup. I'm going to go get the trailer set up, get this hung out of the window, and then and then start loading the trailer, taking it down, loading the trailer, taking it down. That'll be the next couple of days, I guess, because once I've cleared out most of this rubble and muck, I can tidy up the edges, get rid of the last row on the wall, and then we'll start looking at the beams. See, the spiders have already moved in. Nice new big cobwebs. So that's a sign of a healthy roof, actually. So yeah, this isn't going to be fun. This isn't going to be fun at all, I don't think. I'm going to have to separate the wood as well, take the wood separately, because that has to go somewhere else. So yeah, it's going to be quite sweaty and quite hot, but I'll just have to keep going, because I think the final result will be worth all of the effort here. So there we go. Let's get that window open and get the rubbish chute set up. There we go, all set up. As I said last time, I'm getting quite good at it, so it's going quite quickly, but with every additional 5 degrees temperature, it gets quite much more tiring. Look at my beautiful, beautiful roses. I should and will trim them. I have to anyway before I do the front of the house, but for now they're just looking wonderful all over my barbecue. Okay, well, it's mask on again for this, and a glove. I seem to have lost all my left hand gloves, which is strange because I have 3 right hand gloves, so I shall have to pick some up. As I said, I've got to separate the wood out. Everything else is set up, so I'm just gonna get on with it. it does make a noticeable difference every time I fill a trailer up. I think probably another 1 or 2 with rubble, and then obviously there's more rubble upstairs. There's quite a lot more tiles and stuff. I just took down the big piles because we can drop everything else out. Then I shall make a hole there and try and drop it straight into the chute. But then there's all this wood, because these have got to go. And then I'm going to charge up the compressor, and at some point we'll see. I have a mini sandblaster, like a toy one, and we'll see how the beams are, if they're blasted a bit, and if it's worth doing all of them. So there we go. Oh, it's not a huge load, but it's fine. It's a dusty load is what it is. I'm going to take it down now before they close, and it's as I always say, this is like my break, because it's so hot and I just keep shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. I'm going to collapse eventually. So yeah, I'll bring it down. Well, it's a bit of a shame, really. Indecision. I've untied it. No, I've untied it. I'm taking it down. Okay, well, there's another load in record time. But the place has now shut for lunch, so that'll have to wait before I drive it down. I'll go down around 1:32ish. I'm not going to put more in than that, A, because some bits, as you can see, are already falling off, but B, because I was surprised that the last load was over the weight limit of the trailer. I guess just because there's so much dust and other things, it sort of fills all the holes. So it becomes much denser. But there we go. The weather is beginning to get a little bit suspect. The weather forecast says no rain, but we know not to trust that. So I'll have to wait and see. Just pop and close the roof. What I'm going to do now, just to kill some time, and because I'm very curious, is I'm going to charge up the compressor and sandblast a little portion of one of these beams to see what they look like. Probably one of the blacker ones over on the other side. Okay, so this is the sandblaster. It's another cheap Lidl special, not sponsored. So I just want to see what it'll do. I basically bought it for doing little bits of metal, but I'm going to have a go on the wood, and that'll help me to decide whether or not I should buy a proper one, rent a proper one, or just give up and sand them or do something else with them. So compressor's full of air. Let's go and have a look. I'm going to get some glasses, and I've got my mask on, so that should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to use this beam as the tester. First thing I'm going to do is blow just compressed air to get rid of all the stuff on it, and then we'll give the sandblaster a go on a little test surface. Okay, so it comes up like that, or like that. I did a bit over there as well. And this is a toy little one. Obviously I have to pull all the nails and wire brush it first or something along those lines. Maybe nylon brush it rather than wire brush it, but it comes up pretty smooth. Over there it did. You can't angle it upwards, unfortunately. I mean, it is a little toy one, but yeah, no, the beams are good. They'll look good like that. I think it'll come up nicely with the walls. Well, I haven't decided. The back wall is where the kitchen will be installed, so that's going to be probably doubled in plasterboard, insulated. There's nothing on that side, there are no windows, and that would make my life easier for the electricity and the plumbing and all the rest of it. Then over here, well, yeah, someone suggested making this door into a window. That's possible, or making that door into a window and leaving this as a door, which might make more sense. Yeah, and then I don't know, you see here, this has been messed about with and replaced at some point in time with a piece of metal, but it's hard to tell. Looks like cement. I don't know what's under there. This wall here has some stone, but there's a plaster on top. I've no idea what state they're all in, so I'll have to see. Okay, well, I've taken out the second trailer load, and I'm not going to drive down again today. So what I am going to do is take out everything that's left over. So you see that down here on the floor, there's still that bottom row, and then maybe we'll be able to see what's under there. I'm going to get a brush and show you what's under here later on as well. So yeah, I'm going to do that with the big electric jackhammer. Tiny little fella. Okay, so I've cleared that up a bit, and look, the flagstones go under the wall, and it looks like they go under the floor too. And if this has a stone floor like that all the way across, that would be fabulous, because it's certainly in little areas in need of repair, but this is a 300-year-old stone floor. And if they didn't take it up, that would be a super result, because I would just leave it, and it gives me, let me turn the camera around. So from that floor there, it gives me, I'm 194, so that's 6'4", gives me almost a foot till the beams, and then obviously the ceiling will be much higher. But yeah, I'm going to sate my curiosity and see how far, if at all, that goes underneath the these terrazzo tiles, which are in a pretty poor state and will have to go. So I'm going to lift a bit, and we'll see what they put it on. If they just laid it on earth, which is what they normally did, then they will have just put some sand and some earth on top of the stone floor, and then put the terrazzo to try and tidy it up when they made this in the 1950s, I think, mid 50s. Yeah, because obviously the whole place had been used for smoking before, as you can see, because it's black underneath where the ceiling was, and then they built this little kitchen in here, and the neighbours whose house it used to be said that she couldn't remember it ever being used for smoking, and she's now around 60. So yeah, this is an old floor, and there's a piece in the middle that's sort of tomette, like terracotta tiles. The thing is, because I would quite like to put in an island in the kitchen. If I put the island in, whatever's under the island I can sort of borrow to fix elsewhere. But first things first, let me get the jackhammer back out. It's got the chisel on it. Now we've got this all out completely, and see if we can lift some tiles and see what they're on. Maybe they'll, once you get the first kind of section out, maybe they'll come out on their own. We'll have to see. I don't know if it goes all the way over to the other side, but as you can see, there's a little bit of cement, and then there's dirt, and there's a hole over here where they were in. That's a hole that's been there for a long time. I'm going to scoop that out now with the shovel and see if there's stone under there as well, because I never thought to go that deep. Well, I've hit something over there, but I'm not quite sure what it is. So it makes more sense, I think, to kind of keep going from here across and try and get a line. Wow, this would be such a huge result if this is what I think it is, which is basically just beautiful old stone all the way across. Oh, what a roller coaster of emotions that was. So under here there's nothing, it just digs down. They've taken the stones out. But under here there is it's quite a big stone. So I don't know if that just means they left the last ones, or maybe somewhere higher than others. I'm not going to find out until I've taken the whole thing up. So that's probably what's going to have to happen, but probably not immediately. I've got to get rid of all of this and the ceiling and everything from upstairs, because if there are some nice flags down here, the last thing I want to do is break one by having something heavy drop on it. So yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Strenuous in the heat. Go outside, catch some fresh air. It never did thunderstorm in the end, but it might still. Colours are amazing, but yeah. Whew. So so there we go. More tomorrow. I'm still hopeful for the floor. That would be such a huge result, but we'll find out in the next couple of days. For now, let me show you what happened to the golf. Last time I was here, just before I went back to Austria, because it was quite exciting and I had to drive it back. So Yeah, and then yeah, that's about it. Okay, well, good morning and welcome back. Another beautiful sunny morning. I'm aching all over from yesterday's demolition derby, but the first call of order today is going to see what's wrong with the Golf and see if, because I really need it tomorrow to do a long drive. Before I put a trailer on it or anything else, I want to make sure that I'm not going to kill it completely. So I'm going to go and have a look at that, take it down the road, see what happens. Of mowing going on today, so it's quite loud in the background, but I just opened up the bonnet and the clutch cable is actually new. It's here, it was changed, and then I got back in the car and I pushed down on the clutch and, well, the pedal fell off. So it could be not as bad as I thought. It might just be something stupid. But now I have to put this all back together and find out how it works. It looks like this is the clutch here, and it has to pull that. I'll just find the whatever this sits on and try and put it back together. Sorry about the loudness, I'm going to stop now. You can see, or perhaps can't. Okay, so this rod has been pushed out. And unfortunately, I'm missing that clip from the other end. So I'm going to have to order one of those and botch it for now. But it just comes into too smaller amount, and then the pedal went offset, and that's why I lost the clutch. So nothing disastrous, except that I'm missing a clip that has miraculously disappeared completely. But I'll push it back a bit, get everything set up. You can see it right up at the top there. That's the clutch cable, which I need to hook onto, and then that white hole is where the big spring goes into. And that's basically just put it back together, so nothing too major here. Well, it's back together and the clutch pushes. I have to reset it completely here, so I still need to take that off to finish the reset. But this is the clip from the other side. This is basically what's missing. And the one from the other side obviously needs to go on the other side. So I'm going to try and make up something like this out of a piece of metal now with my drill and a pair of pliers, and see if we can get something similar to hold it until I can get one from Volkswagen next week. Okay, so I've had this off a bottle of Pinot Grigio that we had a couple of days ago, and folded over, it comes up to pretty much the same thickness. So I'm going to hammer it flat, drill out this bit so that it slides on, and then have a fold over to lock it in place. That's my theory. And there we go. Let's see if that works. I don't know if you can see it, but it's in there, and it clipped on quite satisfyingly. It's only, the shaft will move very slightly left and right, and obviously the clip isn't anywhere in the car, and that clutch cable is quite new, so I imagine it fell off or was forgotten at that point. But I didn't change that clutch cable, so it was before me, which means it's done, years without anything, and I will pick up that clip as soon as I get near a Volkswagen garage on a weekday. But for now, we have everything you need. Good positive resistance, so for me that works. I've got to unset the clutch. I've got to screw this dashboard back together, and while I'm here I have there's a lot of play in the gearbox, and I have the thing that should or may be able to sort that out. I'm going to have a quick look, see if it's coming from the front or the back. If it's from the front, I don't have the thing. If it's coming from the back, I do. It seems to work. I've got a clutch pedal and I can change gears, and it feels quite good. I'm not sure how long the clip will hold out for, but hopefully enough to get me by for the next few kilometers until I can get a proper one. So unfortunately though, I've lost quite a lot of time slightly quicker update video, but we still got a fair amount done. I mean, cleaning is doing and finishing up, you know, knocking out the wall and checking out the floor. So so good day, and I should be back very soon. I'm out for a few days, but not for a great number of days because of other commitments. But while I'm here, I shall go and get as much as I possibly can done, and obviously you'll be along for the ride. So until then, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and bye bye for now.